Well, we're bringing some new things here onto the farm. We got our 2 kicker wagons, bringing them up. Hey guys, farmer's wife back here again. It's been a kind of a crazy couple of weeks. The kids started school, we went on some vacations, but I'm back, and although there's not as much action going on the building aspect of things, we do have some action going on with new equipment here on the farm, which we're really excited about. I'm gonna take a few videos here and just talk about some of the equipment that we have purchased and what it's used. The first piece of equipment that I want to talk about here is the Brillion cultipacker, or I think they call it on the website a pulverizer. We know it as a cultipacker. This is an 18-foot. This we got at the auction the other day. It does need a little bit of work on it. The wheels, and I don't know if you got to it yet, but these need to be tightened up. We need to just loosen this up and push it over and tighten those up, but we'll go over it before we start using it and make sure everything is in working order. This piece of equipment, many of you may know, but some of you may not, is used to flatten out the surface, knock out any clods in the ground. Each of these wheels move individually, or they can, but they have little knobbies there that help to break up the soil and give you a flat surface for harvesting. Also, it's known that a uniform surface without clods and such provides a better seed bed for the seeds to grow in. So you get a better production when you use this. Clods are known to hold a lot of the nutrients for the ground, so breaking those apart can release those back into the ground. It also, if you have any residual from previous crops, keeps that in place so that it's not washing out, and it holds the soil in place. We like to use these to flatten out the ground so that it's not as hard on our equipment. We use it primarily for our alfalfa seed beds and for our soybeans. I think what we're going to do, you can either use it before you plant or after, but I believe what we're going to do is use it after we plant, just to give a nice firm seed bed, optimize our germination. So that's a little bit about the cultipacker, what it's used for. This one does fold, which makes it nice. I believe that you can get them that they don't fold. But we are going to get ready to plant our alfalfa field, and we're going to use this after we plant it. So you'll get to see it in action a little bit. One of the other things that I just wanted to talk about a little bit with this cultipacker, when you have a firm and a smooth seed bed, it allows you to get an optimal harvest with your product, whether it's alfalfa or soybeans. You can cut it lower to the ground and get more of the plant harvested. This is especially important in alfalfa if you want to get a larger harvest. But in here in the east, where we can sometimes use the soybean fodder for bedding, it is also important. I know a lot of you guys think that we should just leave everything on the field, but when we use it for bedding, we add nutrients to the fodder and put it back onto the field. So just a little bit different here in the east than it is elsewhere, but it's not as hard on the equipment if you need to harvest it close to the ground. So just another little thing that we use this to help us with. Morning, y'all. We are back here in one of our back fields getting ready to plant some alfalfa. Farmer is out there turbo tilling with a 7290R, just getting the field ready for some seed. Decided to use the bigger tractor and keep it with the bigger tractor for this. So we'll use a turbo till, then we will go ahead and plant our alfalfa, and lastly we'll cultipack it. I have the farmer's youngest son out here with me today, and he wants a ride on the tractor. So we'll see. I bet he will get a ride on the tractor since all the other kids are at school and he is the only one here. So he's learning what it's like to be by himself for the first time in 3 years. Well, not quite. I guess Brooke was in school last year, but a lot of times the kids were home due to everything that was going on last year. So one of the reasons that we're planting this field in alfalfa is because our second son, Brent, really just loves alfalfa and baling and the small bales. So that's one of the things that he wanted. We too like alfalfa. It'll be great. It'll grow great on this hill here. It is a little bit of a hill. So well, there you go. He's getting his wish. All right, so there they go. I am gonna take our gator here and go pick up some rocks. This is a 390 or a 590M, sorry. And we use it a lot here on the farm. So many of you know this is the farmer's son's, but it's more of a family, used for more family stuff as well. So here we go. Here are the rocks. We'll pick them up and put them in the back of the gator here and get them out of here. So we have some good ground, fertile ground that is nice and smooth for the alfalfa. Forgot how big this field was. This will make a nice alfalfa field down here as well. Alright guys, we are hooked up here to the Ash 5612 no-till planter, drill I guess. We're just getting it set up here and then we're going to take it up to the shop and we're going to put some seed in it. See, it turns. so we are ready to take it up to the barn and fill it up with some seed, or up to the shop I should say. You can see the seeds coming down in there. And they go down. Planted down in there. So we did decide to put this into organic Timothy just because we couldn't get any organic alfalfa seed. This was going to be an alfalfa field, but we like Timothy just as much, so we can still make small bales with that, and I think the farmer's son will be pretty happy. The younger one. checking the seed. checking the seed, making sure that it's even. Each of the little tubes that go down are what plants, so you want that nice and even in each of the little tanks there. So the farmer's son up there, he's going to make sure it's even, and I have some more seed if we need it in the back of the gator here. As you can see, there are a few hills back here, so that is why we are using the 7290R. We didn't want to get the 4320 out here and have it pulling and making some ruts in the ground. So the 7290R is doing a fantastic job at keeping this field nice and smooth. We'll probably come back and hit this with the cultipacker just to give the seed a nice smooth bed. Dirt is nice and fine, so that's good, but just to smooth the seed bed out just a little bit more. We'll see. About done with this field. I have another bag for the next one. So there you have it, the 7290R pulling the ash drill and getting our Timothy seed planted. So I hope you guys enjoy this video of us planting our Timothy. Not sure if I'm going to add the cultipacker into this one or make it a separate video, but you'll have to check that out if I don't. And as always, have a great day. Hey guys, it is Friday morning here, and we got the concrete busted up from the bin site, and we're working on clearing that out. The 330G working, and then we have a Volvo excavator. Just a little side story here. You guys remember the tree that was standing here? That tree was pretty much dead. It did not take much to get that root ball out, the trunk and roots. It just popped right out. So I'm glad we took that down. It was a danger to the bins, to the power lines. It needed to come out anyway. The power lines were going right through it. So. That is just a powerful machine. But what I find interesting is that in that whole concrete pad, there is absolutely no rebar. Had nothing to strengthen it. I mean, it's no wonder it was cracking, and it is just a gorgeous fall day out today. No humidity. It's warm. The sun's warm, I should say, but the air is cool. So yeah, we're getting this taken care of, and then we can start working on the rest of the bin site and getting that where we need to be. Another shot here. Both of them in at the same time. So yeah, we're getting this cleaned up here today. And I guess the guy for the new bin, the leg and the pit is also coming today. So we also got the stump out over here. This was a fairly large stump, a pretty big hole, so we're just filling this in so we don't break all pavement. We'll get the grapple and pull out those pieces of tree stump. And then down below you can see that we are starting to excavate down there. The garage to the farmhouse needs to be redone, and we thought we'd move it over to this side. I don't know how many of you remember the early pictures. There was actually a red barn here, but we took that down, and we're going to put the garage over here, which will actually allow us to get into our gray shed from either side. We'll have the driveway coming up through here, and then also on the other side of the farmhouse, and we'll be able to have a drive-through shed. So we're just getting this filled in, and just getting some jobs done here. You can see across the road there, they got the old bin site completely cleaned out, and the side bank filled in. Looks pretty good. So we do still have some topsoil from the building site. That's what we're going to use to fill in here. I actually just brought him some lunch in our gator, and you can see we have the cultipacker over here. We're going to start to service that, grease it, and check that out here. So that'll be another video coming up. Get this packed in. forecast here today. They aren't calling for any rain, but clouds definitely came in. Still about 72. That's just a little bit of what we're up to here today. We'll see what else we get into. Well guys, I didn't get quite everything done that I wanted to get on video for you today, but I thought I'd put these videos together and put it up for you. I'll add a picture here at the end showing you what all the farmer did get done down at the down at the farm. But I also wanted to show, if you see the dirt way over there, that is our Timothy field, and that is actually sprouted. We just planted that here the other day, and it's sprouted already. So maybe tomorrow I'll get down there and I'll be able to show that to you. We ended up making some dinner for Eric's grandmother and taking that over to her, so I wasn't able to get everything done as I was working on that, but I hope you enjoy this video, and as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.